With a full week of NFL games in the books, it's time to get active in the fantasy trade market and capitalize on what your league mates didn't notice about those week one performances. Since the season is new and fresh, let's take a positive approach today and look at the players you should be going out to buy from your league mates this week. We're going to fly through 8 guys you need to add right now. Our first buy candidate is Isiah Pacheco. After rushing back from a broken leg last year, Pacheco just did not look the same. That poor showing at the end of the year really tanked his value in Dynasty. The situation is reminiscent of Tony Pollard a few years ago, who had a very similar injury. Once he came back, he just didn't look the same until a year later when he was fully recovered, then he was back to his old self. Pacheco's week one performance shows that he is now at that stage where he's back to himself. While the week one split carries with Hunt are going to scare your league mates into thinking he's in another timeshare, you can know based on this performance that he is by far the best running back on the roster and he will get the lion's share of the workload moving forward for Kansas City. Go ahead and buy him now before he gets a workhorse workload next week. The next buys are a package deal. I'm calling these the backup rookie running backs. For this one, I'm including both Trevion Henderson and RJ Harvey. Both of these rookie running backs looked like the best back on their team, but the touches were split so that they looked like they were the backup running backs for their teams. If the Henderson and Harvey managers are panicking right now in your league, go ahead and pounce on that uncertainty. If they were expecting a week one starter for fantasy, go ahead and buy them for a slight discount. I'm not saying to lowball for these guys. I'm more interested in them now after their week one performances. But if you can get a slight discount, then go ahead and take it. That's especially the case for Henderson, who looks like he could be a top 12 running back by the end of this season for fantasy. Next up on the buy list is Bhayshul Tuten. Now, I had this name in here and was recording this video when the Tank Bigsby trade news broke. I was going to talk about how everyone's talking about Travis Etienne and whether it's him or Bigsby and whether Etienne's performance is the real deal. But I still really liked Tuten's tape in his limited availability in week one. I was going to recommend to buy him based on that. Even if it was going to be later in the season or even next season that his true breakout happened, I want to buy into the future RB1 for this Jacksonville Jaguars offense led by Liam Cohen, and I believe that's going to be Bhayshul Tuten sooner or later. Now that we know that Bigsby's gone, there is no impediment for Bhayshul Tuten past Travis Etienne. Don't forget that Etienne was highly inefficient the last 2 years, one of the worst in the NFL. 1 week against a very bad Panthers defense does not mean that he is locked in as the workhorse running back here. Especially now that Bigsby's out of the picture, Tuten is going to explode in one of these next couple weeks and his value is going to skyrocket. You need to buy him before that happens. Now moving over to my advice to buy Tet McMillan. To me, Tet looked exactly how I expected him to. A big wide receiver that can bring anything in thrown his way. Now the final stat line wasn't too impressive, and that's why he's on this buy list. He was very close to bringing in 2 very tough catches that would have taken that stat line from kind of meh to unbelievable and the talk of Dynasty fantasy football. Bryce Young and the Panthers offense as a whole looked pretty rusty in this one, but if they start to get things moving over the next couple of weeks, then Tet is going to be untouchable in all of your leagues. If you want to get a piece of this big X receiver, then you need to make that move right now. Enough of the rookie talk. Now over to a reliable veteran, Austin Ekeler. Speaking of rookie talk, everyone is talking about Bill Krosky right now. I get it. He looked great out there, and as a Commanders fan, I am very happy about it. But let's not forget, Eckler is the RB1 still for this team. No matter how the carries break down, Eckler is going to be the main pass catcher for this team and a reliable veteran for Jaden Daniels. This Cliff Kingsbury offense loves to use their running backs in the passing game. They love to throw these short passes underneath screens, and Austin Ekeler may be one of the best running backs in the league at just that. I don't know where this narrative that Eckler is washed came from, but it's just not true. His volume's gone down as he's gotten older, but his efficiency has been right up there. Now, I'm not saying Eckler is going to be an RB1 this year, but you are not paying anything close to that for him. He's going for thirds in a lot of leagues, and I'm willing to pay a late second to have a consistent RB3 on my roster who's going to have TD spike weeks that lead you to win the flex in your league. Now on to Jalen Milroe. No tape for this one because he didn't really play. He's the backup quarterback for the Seahawks, and their starter, Sam Darnold, did not look great in week one. He looked a lot like his pre-Viking stage than his Viking stage that got him the big contract with the Seahawks. I've been saying this. KOC is an offensive mastermind over in Minnesota, and he is the reason that Darnold looked good last year. If the offense continues to struggle throughout the first half of this season, which I really think it could, then we may see Milroe get some starts towards the end of the year to see what the Seahawks have in-house. Now, I am not a Milroe fan whatsoever. He will not be a good NFL quarterback, but he will be exciting for fantasy if he gets the chance to start. That's why I'm saying to buy him right now for cheap, and then once he does get a start and he rushes for 80 yards and a touchdown or two, then you sell him at a peak premium price, even though he's going to be replaced next year in the draft because he is not a good enough passer for the NFL. Next up on the buy list is Cam Ward. Ward's week one is a perfect example of the stats not indicating the performance. Ward's stat line looks abysmal, but I'm encouraged that we're seeing someone who will have productive NFL and fantasy career. Ward had the highest average depth of target in week one of any QB, while his wide receivers dropped the highest percentage of his passes of any team in the NFL. He also went against probably the best defense in the entire NFL in his first career start. There are people in leagues everywhere panicking right now that they're going to lose all value on their first round pick this year. Go ahead and give them the out that they're looking for because Cam Ward is going to be worth that early first round selection that people made on him in Dynasty rookie drafts this past year. And our last buy candidate is Calvin Ridley, also from the Titans. Now, Ridley was part of why Ward's stat line looks so bad. He had a couple of pretty bad drops that hurt his and Ward's performances. So, why is Ridley on this list? Well, he had the chance to drop the ball. No more uncatchable targets from Will Levis. No, Ridley has a QB that can hit him in the hands. Ridley also faced off against Patrick Surtain in this game, probably the best corner in the entire NFL. So he's not going to have this difficult of a matchup moving forward, and the 27 yards we saw from him this week is probably the lowest figure he's going to have for the rest of the year. Take advantage of people trying to panic sell Ridley and get yourself a solidified wide receiver two that is going to help you win games this year. That's all for our buy candidates. Go ahead and add a few of these guys in your leagues, and you're going to see the value returns very quickly this season. While you're here, go ahead and subscribe to our channel because we're going to keep giving you content like this all season long. We have 2026 Dynasty rookies incoming and the breakdowns of their profiles. We have lots of buys and sells throughout the season. We are the people that watch all of the film in case you don't have time to. So we're going to give you the breakdowns that you need to help you win your Dynasty League.